Hey guys, this is Jesse B, professional referee for the state of Georgia, and I am on Drinkin' at Mo's.
This is drinking at that Mo's where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre. It's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with drinking at Mo's where we don't quit. Drinking at Mo's, that's where it's at like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Mo's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Mo's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee, the, the exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome. Drinking Mo's Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Because YouTube continues to be a pain in my ass. Where most places can find the audio podcast do. Yet two, words are hard. I am not that drunk yet. But today I'm excited to have with me. I love talking to people from all different aspects of the business. And today I have with me Jesse B, professional referee. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. How about you?
Hmm, can't complain. I
You
was
got
actually
it.
I was supposed to be drinking this last Saturday, but went to a show. I could have sworn that the doors normally opened at 7, but yeah, I sure got that one wrong. They opened at 6, so I was like,
Oops.
shit.
Damn.
So I was cutting it a little closer than I wanted to. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I got some recordings this week. I'm sure I can find a time to just drink it during one of them.
There you go. Yeah, I don't mind the chiladas. The chiladas are pretty good. I like all the different flavors.
Oh yeah, my brother-in-law, he tends to only like the lime and salt ones. I've
Mm.
That's a good one. I think I got the special one right now,
Yep.
but I have become kind of fond of either the mango or the watermelon ones myself.
Okay. Yeah. They're all pretty solid, so.
Oh yeah, no. But before I get into too big of a tangent there, because Lord knows I can about my favorite drinks. What got you started as a fan, and then what got you deciding to make the leap into the business?
When it comes to becoming a fan, it's kind of a funny story, and every time I tell people kind of what got me into wrestling, they're all like, what? Like that isn't because a lot of people it's like, oh, when I first saw Stone Cold or when I first saw John Cena or mine is a
Yeah.
little different. All right. We were in Panama City Beach, Florida. I remember it like it was yesterday. And me and my dad were at it was like a bar arcade thing going on.
Yeah, yeah, we got a few of them here.
Yeah, yeah. So I was sitting down eating my fries and he was, I don't know, doing whatever he was doing. And they had a TV up in the corner and it was a segment between Big Daddy V, Matt Stryker, and Boogeyman.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, all I remember is Matt Stryker was taunting the crowd because he was doing the teacher gimmick at the time,
Yeah.
and he had the chalkboard up, telling people they're stupid, can't do math, and the Big Daddy V comes out, and I can't remember exactly what was said, but at some point, Big Daddy V throws Matt Stryker, or it was he had to throw Matt Stryker or Boogeyman through the chalkboard, and it was super crazy, and like I was like, I don't know what that is, but that was pretty cool.
Oh
And then I
yeah.
remember going home and they were doing, I think it was tribute to the troops, or my grandmother had a tribute to the troops, something with tribute to the troops. I just
Um,
remember seeing Triple H with a handlebar mustache, and like I was like, this is sick. Like I like
yeah.
this. So that's kind of when I became a fan. That was like oh 05, oh 06,
Okay.
oh 07 around there. Uh First WrestleMania I ever watched was 24. Um, and I always say Edge and Taker were is probably my favorite Undertaker match at Mania.
That was a
Um,
good one.
yeah, it was great. But then, over time, I was always a fan. There was never really any lulling points where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in high school now. I'm not doing nah, man. Like I got into amateur wrestling in high school, and like I felt like that would help me down the road if I were to go down that path. But what really got me into it was I was a big fan of WWE, but I always wanted to go to an indie show. And I always heard about indie shows, but it's kind of hard to get into it at first because it's like, man, I don't even know the names of these places. I don't know what to look for. Even if you just look up independent wrestling, it's gonna pop up with all of the bigger indie promotions. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I just want to go to a bar somewhere, you know, go watch some wrestling. And it was Disruptor Wrestling here in Atlanta. Was the first show I went to about a year and a half ago. And I went with a buddy of mine. Buddy of mine, never been to a wrestling show ever, didn't even watch wrestling, but he was a good sport. He's like, dude, I'd love to come do your first indie show. Yeah, why not? And it was an awesome show. It was Rico Gonzalez. He gave me like he was like he had like a title necklace, and he
Yeah.
let me wear it. He was like, hey bro, hold on to this for me, and like it was super cool being included. And like indie shows are a lot more inclusive. They're a lot
Oh yeah.
more intimate, and the heckling is hilarious when it comes to the indie
No, I
shows, right?
that's me, man. I
Yeah,
like
and it was just so cool, dude. I remember freaking out because we were sitting right by where the wrestlers would come through, go up the steps, and it was the coolest thing in the world. Wish I could remember what the main event was. I know it was Vari Morales and might have been Slim J. I don't know. One of those kind of concoctions. But after that, I was like, dude, this is awesome. So then every month for that whole year, me and my buddies would get together and go to a wrestling show. It's usually Disruptor. We went to Classic City a few times. We went to a Renegade show. Um, and it was at a classic show where I talked to the refs that were there. And it was I'm blanking on their names right now. It was Anthony Rivera and Paul Espinal. They were a referee in the Classic City show. And my buddy was like, dude, you should go over there and talk to him, like ask how like they got in the business and how it works. I was like, cool. All right, let me check it out. So I had a conversation with them too, and they were telling me about there's a few different schools in Georgia where you can get started, and there's only like three schools, I think, three or four in the state of Georgia that are like within Metro Atlanta or just south. Um, and they told me about the WWA 4. Um, And I was like, okay, cool. I might check. And then Rico also told me about the 4 in Atlanta. Then a few months went by. I was really thinking about it. I was really nervous because like at that point I wasn't really in shape. I'm kind of a smaller guy. And I was like, man, I'd really like to do refereeing. Like I think that'd be really fun. I had the best seat in the house. At that point I thought it was simple. It turns out it's not. Um, figure that out. But I was at an action show, at Action Wrestling. And there's another referee. He's Daryl Hall, or he's known as Grandpa on the Indies. And me and him kind of already had a relationship because I was doing my own podcast back then. And that was kind of my way to get in the back because I would do on-set interviews. I would bring my own camera equipment, my own mics, and then we'd set up somewhere and then I'd talk to the wrestlers. And that's kind of what got me in the door. And then I was like, okay, awesome. Now I can make great first impressions. I can get to know people, talk to them. And Grandpa was one of the ones that I really kind of clicked with really well. And turns out he's like, hey, like I do training. I train referees at Platinum Championship Wrestling in Conyers. I was like, oh, okay, awesome, cool. So I filled out the flyer on the website, paid the monthly fee, and first day of training was with goes by Cuatro Cabezas, and he does like the beginner classes on Mondays, and it was him and Brian. And man, I remember I was so scared of like the bumps, and I was like, man, what is this gonna feel like? And Slim J, I texted Slim J like I literally was at the door about to go in, and I was like, how do I prepare for my first bump? Like, what do I do? And he was like, man, just blow all the air out of your lungs because it's gonna come out anyway, and that'll help with the bump. I was like, okay, cool, and it worked, man. It was great, and ever since then, man, I've been addicted to it. And because even referee training, like I still have to do all of the conditioning. I got to run the ropes, got to learn psychology, how to break down a match, so I understand what they're saying when they're talking. There's just so much that goes into it, keeping up with time cues, keeping the boys safe. Um, if something happens, figuring out how to get out of that situation or how to, or if something happens on the fly and you got to figure it out and then working hard cam and making sure, it's just there's so much that goes into it. Because when I first got into it, I was dumb. I was like, man, I just got to get down and count to three. Cool. But no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It is a lot. And training with Grandpa has been amazing, man. He's such a good guy. Um, whether it's just life advice or even like now, like if I see a clip online or if I messed up at a show, or even I'll just send my matches to him, Paul, Mike. I don't know if you know Mike, Mike Full of Love. He's on DPW. He does DPW. He's referee in there. But he does commentary at PCW for a lot of the PCW shows. So me and him got pretty close. Um, so anytime I need any advice or any critiques, I just send them to my matches. They study it, tell me, hey, this and this, positioning, all that kind of stuff. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I've officially been reffing for about 2 months, a little over 2 months. Got 57 matches under my belt. I've worked for 10 different promotions, and I'm really just trying to meet as many people as I can, learn from as many people, and just be a sponge, you know,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and learn from the best. And even, people who are considered maybe not the best, but I'm like, you can learn from anyone,
Oh yeah.
you
No,
know?
just
Um,
little something you can take away from everybody.
for sure. And I know I'm a little long-winded, but that's
No, no,
yeah.
you're fine, man. I just got to thinking about a lot of stuff while you were talking there, like especially about like your start as a fan. I'm like, well, yeah, Big Daddy V and Boogeyman were two guys that like, yeah, they were definitely eye catching. So
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you're seeing them on the TV and it's like, okay, I don't know what the fuck that is, but man, they got my attention with that look crazy as hell.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh
100%.
yeah. And you you already went through another one of my questions about that I was gonna ask about ref training and like any differences because I know I've talked with a few people here local to me that it's like, yeah, you still a lot of the things like refereeing or if you're just going to be a manager, you still got to do all that stuff. There might be different variations from it, but like the basics of conditioning and the ropes and having your body prepared as much as you can be for whenever you might have to take a bump. Like you never know. Like good lord, we see it all the time in different promotions, whether on national TV or the independents, where like referees, especially, can take some pretty damn crazy bumps. Like, holy
Yeah.
crap!
Well, that, when you think about it, and even like, and a lot of the wrestlers will know this because a lot of wrestlers have a lot of respect for the referees, is like a lot of times wrestlers, they only got to wrestle once a night, maybe twice if they're doing more than one show. But referees are out there for two, three, four matches, maybe even more, depending on if they're Iron Manning a show. You just And it's like, yeah, sure, we're not doing the flips, we're not getting slammed, but like there's still tons of cardio. I think last week or the week before last, because I have an Apple Watch and I like to keep up with my calories. I do training with Njpw on Wednesdays with him and Grandpa. I burned 1,800 calories in 2 hours.
Oh boy.
Bro, it was because he has us running the ropes. He'll have us do 2 minutes straight of continuous movement, just doing whatever, whether it's flips, in and outs, back rolls, front rolls, tiger rolls, going to the outside, coming back in. Just as long as you're moving for 2 minutes straight, you have to continue the movement because if you don't, he'll restart the timer, tell you to restart it.
Oh
And
man.
it's, yeah, man. And his conditioning is crazy, but he's one of the best. Not just his, he's
Yeah.
one of the best on the indies right now. And
That that reminds me, not to interrupt you,
no, you're
of
fine.
like, starting the timer over from like, me being from the Navy and going to Navy boot camp. It's like that sort of shit happened all the time. Like, you know, the cadence that they do, and then if somebody got out of rhythm, they'd be like, restart, and like you don't
Yeah.
want to say anything in your head, but in your head you're like, God fucking damn it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And even with there's another guy, he goes by Trey Shaw here on the Indies in Georgia. He does training on Tuesdays. And his conditioning isn't hard, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
then he'll always end it with 2 to 3 minutes of planking straight. And as soon as you get to the end, if everybody's not up, then he's like, all right, I'm going to keep the timer going until everybody can stay up for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, whatever it is. And it's no joke. Like
Yeah.
that's the first thing that caught me off guard on my first day of training. I remember I walked in and I was ready to get in the ring. I was like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna figure out how to bump, right? I didn't know about all the conditioning that happens before you get in the ring. And it's like, and with Richard Buznego or Cuatro Cabezas, he was like, all right, let's get in a circle. And then even the people who have been there for a while, they were joking, oh, how many people we got today? I think there was 11 of us. And he was like, all right, start with me, and then we're gonna go in a circle and do squats, 10 per person. And then, I was like, oh, as somebody I wasn't going to the gym at that point, I was like, okay, yeah, that's so we ended up doing 110 squats, you know, and it was just he would start and then he'd go to me and I go 1, 2 to 10, the next person 1, 2 to 10. And then he had us run around the ring like 4 times. And then he had us go backwards. And then he had us do crab walking, like crab, like,
So yeah,
side sweat.
yeah,
Yeah. And oh my God, it was crazy. And,
yeah.
but it gave me a new respect on what these wrestlers do, especially the ones that actively go to training still, you
I mean,
know?
heck, I only got like a very small taste of it once when a promotion local to me, Magnum Wrestling, they did a pro wrestling boot camp one time. Anybody interested? And I was like, you know what, this will be fun because I was getting a laugh out of the fact, not the fact of the boot camp, the training, but it was more the fact of where it was because it was before an event and it happened to be at the a convention center site that was attached to the same hotel I was put in the night before Navy boot camp, like the night before I left. So I was getting the hugest laugh out of. I left here to go to one boot camp. Now I'm coming back here to go to another. And
Yeah.
like it was just that small taste, and like, man, I kid you not. Yeah, it might have been that small taste, but I was still walking funny for about a week.
Yep. It was the same for me, man. I mean, oh my, I was so sore and my back was sore. And then it was like, because usually the first bump, at least for us, was I can't remember what they call it, but basically I sit on the back of like a bigger trainee, and then they'll push me, and then I'll take the bump, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, you think you're ready to take a bump on your own?" I'm like, "Sure." And then they'll teach you how to take a safe bump, tuck your head. And I remember my first back roll, I concussed myself because I didn't tuck my head. Did a back roll, boom, head hit the thing, and I was seeing all kinds of colors and butterflies, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Ooh,
that
give me a second," you
you
know.
get your bell rung like that. It's no joke. I okay. Telling another Navy story here, but
Go
I
for it.
had it happen where I was my ship was a destroyer, relatively smaller, but you know, rocking back and forth. Well, one time I was working near one of the walls or the bulkheads, and I kid you not, ship went one way, then it went back, and my head went wham
Bam. Yeah.
right, and oh,
Woo.
I yeah, that was not oh until we got back and I just went and found a hotel room out in town and just shut myself in there, brought my Xbox with me and just was playing movies and watching TV in the dark for a couple days.
Yeah. It's definitely it took some time to recover.
Yeah,
And
I
even the
can.
next day I was like, "Oh, man, my back, my head, my arms, my legs hurt." It's just it's
Oh God, I can only imagine. And but it all leads up to some pretty important stuff because I mean it it gets overlooked a lot. And I mean, yeah, you're supposed to be concentrating on the wrestlers in there, but
yeah,
the importance of a good referee it gets overlooked as like how important they are to the overall show because not only are you keeping track of the match itself and like the match lengths and trying to keep pace for the show of not wanting it to go overtime or whatever.
yeah,
It's a job that most people just don't realize how important it actually is.
for sure. And I got told this by a vet at a show I did on Sunday. And because I always like to ask the vets that are there, like, "Hey, like, did you notice anything I need to work on in the ring?" Or, and he was like, "Man, I didn't notice you at all, which means you're doing great." And I was like, "Good," because if they notice me a lot, then
Yeah, that means that yeah, you did something to take the attention away from those two wrestlers, and then
mhm.
it's just like oh, then you're like oh shit, I'm like yeah, I messed up
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, because whether it's like your referee gets in the way, or maybe they're a little bit too expressive in the ring, or, but everybody has their own style. But
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, like I watch the refs are where they're where I want to be, right? So I
yeah,
watch the WWE refs, which are hard because they're so good at their job. They're always out of frame, or the only time you see them is pinfall submissions or countouts or
yeah,
whatever. But like I always look at their body language, how they carry themselves. And I remember when I did my first like training referee match at the school, grandpa was watching and he made a long list of stuff that I needed to work on.
yeah,
But he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you, these in increments." Because he's like, "I don't want you drinking out of a fire hose." So he was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna give you this small stuff." First thing was happy feet. Um, I was bouncing all over the place because I was so excited. I was getting in there, looking and da da da. Oh man, this is so cool. I got the best seat. I'm right here. Whoa, this is cool, right? He was like, and we're still trying to come up with a way because he's actually thinking about putting together like a referee manual of some kind, right?
yeah.
Because he's gotten referee of the year in Georgia like 6 years in a row now, 5 years, 6 years in a
Hey,
row. So I mean, he's the guy, right?
yeah,
But he was like, hey, like walk with purpose. You know, don't like don't jump in. Oh, what do you got? Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, what? He's like, you don't see the WWE refs doing that. He was like, think of it as like if you get pulled over by a cop, he's not skipping and skedaddling to your window. Hey, got your ticket,
that that
you
that
know?
would that would be incredibly weird. Yeah,
Right? They walk with purpose. They're serious, to take them seriously, and that's how referees should be. They're the authority in the ring. right? And even if our size doesn't compare to these wrestlers, the power of the stripes is real. And you have to make that a thing. Like if a
Oh yeah.
wrestler gets in your face, don't look scared. Go, hey, I'm the ref. Get out of my face, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
or if they're threatening you about, no, ref, that was three. No, man, you suck at your job, or whatever they say. These wrestlers say all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff in the heat of the moment. You have to know how to reply and also reply. Because I see
Yeah.
some refs and I'm still pretty green, so I don't want to, rub it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll see refs and they just kind of freeze, you know? And to me, as I was trained, that's not, you have to assert, hey, like I got the stripes. I control this match. If you touch me, whatever, you're out. You lose. Do you want to lose? No, you don't want to lose. So don't mess with me, kind of thing,
Oh,
right? Or I'll count fast when you get pinned, or whatever. Like there's a
yeah.
lot of little things you can play with when it comes to being,
Oh, yeah.
and the referee is so important to making sure the match goes smoothly. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't matter if it's AJ Styles and Nakamura and they're just killing it, they're having a killer match. If the ref messes up that 3 count at the end, or if the ref
Oh, that
or
throws off the whole thing.
yes, or if the referee isn't asserting the rules, then it's like, what's the ref even doing here? And there's so much that goes into it. And like I said again, a lot of refs they have their own style, their own way of doing things. I study the guy where I want to be and my
Mm.
trainer, because my trainer, he's great. He's been doing it for I think 11 years now. So I just I love to study refs. Like, and then I have there's a guy named Nathaniel Spivey.
Mm.
He's a referee here in Georgia, and he's really great about sending me old like 80s footage or even WCW old referee footage of he's like, you need to study how the old refs used to do things. He's like, the new refs are great, but the old refs really are that old school mentality of, hey, I'm the law in the ring, and I'm gonna make sure you follow the rules so you guys have a fair fight, count it down the middle, that kind of stuff. Very old school. But he's another great when it comes to like a mentor down here in Georgia. So
Oh,
I'm a sponge, man. I love
yeah.
learning. I
That's the
love
way to
learning
be.
from everybody, man. It's great.
That's the way to be. And yeah, no, I've been lucky enough, and I still look upon this one time fondly. I got to meet probably one of the for guys from my start in the 80s and into the 90s. The rate, wow, words are fucking hard.
Man,
The
enchilada's
late,
kicking in, bro.
it might be. Wow, I must be a fucking lightweight right now. Anyways, the late great Tim White.
Okay.
I got to meet him rather unexpectedly when I went to a World of Wheels show that Becky Lynch was the signee at.
Oh wow.
And,
Okay.
they sent somebody with her, and it happened to be him. And I just remember as I'm going through the line, I'm looking over, I'm like, holy shit. And got my picture with him, and he seems like pleasantly surprised because I don't think he thought anybody was even going to recognize him. And it was just
Wow.
like he thought that was just a cool thing for him. Like, oh wow, people actually recognized and appreciated me because I mean, hell, his at least refereeing career got cut short because of a crazy ref bump where he ended up getting injured in I believe it was a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, he got knocked off the ropes and hit the cage and just hit it in a way where it caused a career-ending injury.
Yeah, it was nuts. And so going into some of the places that I've seen, you know, advertised for you on social media, uh, GCW and not that GCW, although I mean I do like that GCW, but This
Hmm.
one's Georgia Classic Wrestling, and
Yeah.
there's a show coming up as this episode will come out after, but as of this recording, August 30th,
Hmm.
and the show Slamboree, and it some of the stuff that I'm seeing for it online is like, okay, this is looking like it's probably gonna be pretty good show here.
Oh yeah.
What are you looking forward to there?
Oh man, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in the pipeline that I'm not allowed to talk about. But
Oh, yeah.
Georgia Classic of itself is a very great promotion. It's out in Buckhead, Georgia, and I mean, a lot of the talent there is from our school, from PCW. So I already know a lot of the guys. Like Jay Shaw is a one of their bigger stars there. Nick Halen, I believe, is their world champion right now. Yeah, I actually refed his match at the last show. And I actually know Nick Halen from the previous year. I met him at Dragon Con. He does the big Dragon Con wrestling show every year, which I'm doing this week on Thursday.
Mm,
That's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. Um, but yeah, Georgia Classic, great promotion. I love what they do. It's very similar to kind of how PCW does things when it comes to like promos. They're really great about promoting. They do a lot more than just putting the flyer out there.
yeah.
Hey, wrestling this date, come see it. Like they also do backstage stuff, promos to promote the event.
Yeah.
And our school, they teach like, hey, like don't just post the flyers of where you're going. Like post a promo of yourself saying, hey, do it in character. I'm blah blah blah, and I'm gonna go kick ass August 30th. Come see me, fight this
Yeah.
guy or whatever the case may be. Like put yourself out there, and don't just be putting the flyers out, which is fine. A lot of people are very
Yeah.
busy, but if you want to promote yourself and if you want other promotions to see you and your character and they like what they see, then you might get booked at other promotions just off of, whoa, this guy's promo work is great, or this
Oh, yeah.
character is really cool. Like I'd love to see him in our ring, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
But Georgia Classics is great. All the guys over there have been really good to me. And I can't wait to be there again.
I, I look forward to hearing about that. Now, you brought up Dragon Con, and for somebody that's not necessarily from your area, describe Dragon Con and those shows.
Man, Dragon Con is probably the biggest indie show of the year when it comes to Georgia. Because Dragon Con in and of itself, I'm actually looking up the attendance of last year. It ranges from 70 to 90,000 people a year come to
Holy
Dragon
crap!
come
Yeah,
to Dragon Con, right? Because
yeah,
Dragon Con, it's four buildings of just anything these nerdy guys want, right? I'm a
yeah,
I'm a big convention goer. I love going to conventions. But Dragon Con, it's a 5-day event. And they have parades in the streets, and it's a really beautiful, like, just everybody being able to be who they want to be and be around people who are like-minded, right?
oh yeah,
Dragon Con Wrestling has been around for about 22 years, 21 years, 22 years, maybe more. Um, and it's one show per year. It's at Dragon Con, and it basically opens up Dragon Con. It's on Thursday.
yeah.
And I think last year we filled up with 2,000, 3,000 people last year that
Wow.
were coming in, and there were still people waiting, wanting to get in. We ran out of seats, right? Every year they do a big Hall of Fame. Last year was Rikishi. He was there. He had a table set up. Buy shirts, autographs, meet him. But he was in the ring. We did a Hall of Fame. They've had Sting, Flair, um, and a few other, a bunch of legends over the past 20 something years. What's also cool is they have Hall of Fames for indie talent you know? So while they are appreciating these legends that everybody knows, they're like, hey, this guy has been wrestling since the 90s. And he
Yeah.
might not be a household name, but he is here in the state. And we want to admire this
Oh yeah.
person.
Show
You know?
appreciation, definitely.
But yeah, Dragon Con is a huge show. Last year, I'm not gonna say it was because of me, but maybe I helped a little bit. But I was there doing backstage interviews. That's kind of was my in. I wanted to interview the wrestlers, post the promos on social media, and I noticed I was like, hey, like it's really hard to find old shows. Like, why can't I find footage from like 2008 or 2010 or even last year's show? And then I guess there was some miscommunication, or there wasn't any communication between DCTV and the promoters for Dragon Con Wrestling. And I found the guy who ran it. I was like, hey man, like you guys are recording all this, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, could you send me the footage? Like I was kind of lied a little bit and said I was representing their promotion. Now I am. But at that point, I was not. I was just a backstage interviewer guy. But I was like, hey, man, I represent Dragon Con, and we'd really like to have the footage so the wrestlers can promote themselves and have this footage of them in front of thousands of people,
Yeah.
right? And I uploaded it to YouTube. We're on YouTube now. It's getting great feedback. Um, their social media is doing really well. And it's just, I feel like Dragon Con is the biggest show of the year, but like nobody outside of Dragon Con knows about it. And I'm like, we have to do something with social media. I
Definitely.
I help them make a TikTok, and I'm helping out with all the social media stuff. And even now, I've had a lot of the talent record promos just to promote themselves coming to Dragon Con, because
Yeah.
that's a very indie promotion thing, and
Yeah.
Dragon Con is one of the biggest shows of the year. So I'm like, hey, why don't we do this? People who like these talent from the previous years, they'll see, oh man, like Tyler the Wall Stevens is going to be there. Island Girl Tracy Taylor is going to be there. CB Suave, who's the champion right now, he's going to be there, and so on and so forth. And we have a big story right now, which was 3 years in the making, of Scott Crampton and AJ. And Scott Crampton is the heel. He's the bad guy. He wants to take over Dragon Con. He wants to be the new owner and make it all about sponsorships. And all he cares about is money. And whereas AJ, he's been the promoter since day one. And he's all about the fans, right? And last year we had this big show, and biggest attendance ever. It was super successful, and Scott Crampton's team won last year. So he had teams with 6 matches, or yeah, 6 or 7 matches, and depending on which team won, got
Yeah.
each other a point. Scott Crampton won 4-2. So now Scott Crampton's the new owner,
Mm.
and we're gonna see how that's gonna look on Thursday, because he's already, I don't know, on their social medias, he did a promo basically saying he wants no more Timu cosplays, and he wants everybody to be dressed nice, dressing accordingly, wearing suits, and so on. So it's gonna be something.
Mm.
It's gonna be something. It's it's gonna be fun. But that's the storytelling they're doing. 3 years in the making, and
Yeah.
it was awesome to be a part of that. And
Oh,
now I'm getting a referee this Thursday, and
hey.
it's gonna be fun, and I'm
Oh
excited.
yeah. Definitely. Definitely an exciting time. And you brought up. Like I said, I get ideas for things I want to talk about. You brought up Rikishi,
Okay.
and I actually couple years ago now. There's a convention every year. They bring in at least one wrestler. Well, Rikishi ended up being there, and up top here, I have all of like my signed wrestling figures and stuff. Well, Rikishi is Head Shrinker Fatu.
Dude, that's so cool.
Got
What?
that got that signed by him. Got to tell him about him being in my first ever pro wrestling show in general. It was him as in the Head Shrinkers versus High Energy of Coco Beware and Owen Hart
Oh wow.
was one of the matches, and I was in like the third grade and got floor seats for Christmas. I still say to this day that's probably the best Christmas gift I've ever got in my entire life. But
Yeah,
I got to tell him about that. And growing up, it was always pro wrestling and Ninja Turtles for me. That was like my thing, like from the original cartoon
that's
and
valid.
those first couple of movies. Well, at that same convention, they had two Ninja Turtle people there that sold me on even going. My favorite Ninja Turtle was always Michelangelo. They
Yep.
had the voice of Michelangelo from the original cartoon, and I got a Funko Pop signed by him.
Gotta get it. Yep.
And then the guy behind Splinter from those first two movies in the 90s, Kevin
Hmm.
Clash, got a Splinter one signed by him.
Nice. Dude, that's so
I'm
cool.
I'm rather those I am out of my non-wrestling autographs, those are probably two of my most prized ones. Although I will say there's one that's kind of sentimental to me because uh well, growing up watched a little bit of the Power Rangers. And well, before he took his own life, Jason David Frank came up here to Omaha. And well, I got a Green Ranger one signed by him.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I'd never get rid of that one.
oh no, heck,
Yeah,
all of those are they're
that's
staying.
awesome.
They'll be given to my son whenever I'm dead and gone, but they're staying with me until then.
That's right.
That's
Yeah, I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so a lot of VHSs I would watch were from the 90s or 80s. So I grew up
yeah.
watching the movie from the 90s, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was always put that it was like that or Goosebumps was like my go-to, you know. Had that, get my Tostino's pizza. I was happy as a camper. And that was that was my childhood.
Tino's pizza rolls or something, and just sit there with a snagging. That's the yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally get you there. Now, another show that the logo for it kind of caught my eye, but this one was back August 1st.
Okay.
Showdown at South 2. That one,
Showdown at South 2.
it was like
Oh,
one
one fall.
FW. My handwriting
Yeah,
sucked.
yeah. Yeah, one fall. Yeah, that's one
One
fall
fall.
wrestling. Yep.
Oh man, that oh god, another fucking tangent here. But you mentioned heckling at some of the indie shows. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that my goal as a fan, and I brought it to the little bit of commentary I've been able to do. My goal is to get somebody to crack.
Oh yeah.
Wrestler, referee, photographer, ring announcer, somebody. And I've been lucky enough. I've gotten some notable ones.
Okay.
I've gotten some notable ones, including Mike Bennett.
Nice.
I got him once. It was right around the time that the Undisputed Kingdom was really going big, and Roderick Strong would always yell out, Adam! Well, there was that moment. I just found that perfect moment during one of his matches that I yelled it out. And he just looked down, and you could see him like this look on his face, like, son of well, I got to talk with him. I got to talk with him after the show, and he's like, "Dude, you popped the hell out of me." I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, got it.
Hell, I mentioned this last Saturday that I went to a show, and they have you know, reading off the sponsors every time. And well, one of the sponsors, it's this place. I forget what the fuck they even do, but it's Ricky Rooter, and it's their whole tagline is when things get icky, just call Ricky. But then there's always that pause when they read it. So it's like, when things get icky, and I just yell out, don't call Ricky. And well, the ring announcer just looked at me like, just call Ricky. Although I will gotta say I did have a particular enjoyment out of one time I got to yell that.
Yeah.
And the guys from that company ended up being sat right behind me.
Nice.
I, when I heard about that, I'm like, oops.
Oops.
But yeah,
Oopsies.
I I like to be that little bit of a I don't try to take away from anything from the show, but I do get enjoyment out of some of the crowd reactions I end up getting. I mean,
Yeah.
but going back, one fall wrestling, that show looked, from what I could see of it, looked like it was pretty fun. What was that show like for you?
Man, One Fall was awesome, man. It was a big opportunity for me because QT Marshall runs
Hmm?
that promotion. QT Marshall, and I mean, there's a bunch of like local talent and Nightmare Factory guys there.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I got to ref 3 matches there, and I got to ref with there's a guy named Ref Slim. He's like a local legend here. He's been refing forever. And Clark Dibandito. I always get a mess up on his last name. He's a new up and coming ref. Me and him are kind of on the same
yeah,
trajectory. He's awesome. He's a great kid. But One Fall was awesome, man. I got to ref 3 matches. It was Triple Threat, Ayo Block, Luis Cortez, and Michael Solar. Then it was CJ Montana and Sid Ellington, and then the tag team match was Hyena Hera and Riley Judah and Angelica and Isis. I yeah, that was a
yeah.
tag team, female tag team, super
Okay,
fun. But being back there with like Eli Drago and like I said, QT Marshall, got to meet him, shake his hand. He was very cordial, very nice. He appreciated me being there. And just being back there with like that level of talent, because though that's like the higher echelon of like Georgia indie wrestling. And
yeah,
then they had this huge show a week before. It's I think it's like their version of like their little mania every year. But I mean, they had Darby Allin come out at one point and Jay Lethal and because QT Marshall has that AEW connection,
yeah,
and you got the Nightmare Factory guys, so it's like a blend of just all of this great local talent mixed with talent that's on TV, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and there's a lot of loyal One Fall fans because that show was in Watkinsville, Georgia, which was about a 2-hour drive from my house, which is normal,
yeah,
pretty normal drives for me. But it was such a fun opportunity. And I was always told, hey man, if you want to do another show, just show up. You know, I'm sure we can find a spot for you. And and it's always great. Every match I do, I always talk to the wrestlers. Hey, like, what'd you think? Is there anything I can improve on? Did you notice anything?
yeah,
And it's always nice being able to say, hey, like the boys said, you did a good job. You know.
yeah. No, I bet that's a pretty damn good feeling. I know I get kind of a similar feeling from when my guests tell me, at the end, how good of a time they had, or when I know a promoter friend of mine told me that the people that he sent my way have all told me the same thing about coming on. I'm like, man, I needed to hear that because I can be my own worst critic. So, getting compliments like, the people that you've refereed their matches for, I can imagine it's going to be a great feeling when, they're giving you that good bit of feedback and, a little bit of validation that you're doing something right there.
Yeah, because you'll have a spot as long as the wrestler's like, man, I want him to ref my match. Or
Mm-hmm.
that one time I refed him, he did a great job. Like I want to work with him again.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's always the best feeling. Um,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
I can definitely imagine that. Now, all right. I have two categories here.
All right.
First one's bit of a name game where I try to name off some people. You give me some quick thoughts on them. And I try
Okay.
to theme it towards the guess as much as possible. And, the whole Georgia connection here, I just went and I Googled pro wrestlers from Georgia because I wanted some names that not only you and I would know, but anybody that would end up listening, they would know and wouldn't be wondering who the hell is that guy.
For sure. Yeah.
So I give you a name first. Quick thoughts about the person that pop into your head.
Go for it.
You brought up the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah.
Guy synonymous with that. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
I mean, man, I haven't had a chance to meet him, but just as a guy who's taking WWE, put it on his shoulders as best as he can. And I mean, his promo work, not even from
Oh,
just WWE, but like his AEW stuff from being undesirable to undeniable.
oh man, I love
And
that one.
his heel run on the indies was so good. And he's just it's
New
so crazy
Ring of
seeing,
Honor, all of that. Yeah.
yeah, like growing like when I was growing up, it was, Dash and Cody Rhodes, and then he went into the whole Stardust stuff, and then or no, he had the mustache thing, and then he had the mask, and like seeing how even back then how creative he was trying to be. Like even with the Stardust gimmick, he went 120% into what he
Yeah.
was doing. And I respect that.
Oh
And I'm
yeah.
like, man, that's awesome. And then he does come to the Nightmare Factory every once in a while, just to see how the current camp is doing. And also being that close to Nightmare Factory, I'd love a chance to train at the Nightmare
Oh
Factory. It's like
oh yeah.
40 minutes from my house, you know.
That, yeah. That.
Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of guys I work with have trained there, and even some of the refs have because they do have um, mostly it's wrestling training, but from what I've heard, they also include referees and they teach them about how to work when it comes to TV and how to, do the time cues and keeping up with, everything that referees have to keep up with. And I just think that would be such a good opportunity to have a
Oh yeah.
chance to go there. And I'm like in the area to where like it could happen. I could be able to go
Yeah.
to the Nightmare
It
Factory.
very very well could. I know.
Um, but yeah,
For me, yeah, I have everything that you said. I definitely admire him for, and he does such a great job. I also I want to meet him pretty bad because, and I've told this story a handful of times, but
mm,
it comes from when they released that documentary of him, like some time shortly after he came back to the WWE, and he
yeah,
was talking about when his father Dusty Rhodes was passing away, and talked about not being like one of those quick things where it's like boom, it's over. Oftentimes it's a drawn out process where you're going to the hospital constantly. You're practically memorizing the floor plan on the way to the
yeah,
person's room, and not to go into too dark a detail, but my wife and I were pregnant with twin girls back in 22, and actually they're the reason I got this tattoo on my forearm here.
yeah.
Um, they weren't due until November of that year, but they came in late July,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
they only made it about a week. And I kid you not, that whole thing about practically memorizing the floor plan, like I could go back to that hospital right now, not even think about where I'm going, and walk right to where their NICU rooms were. Like for that entire week, it was me refusing to think of any other alternative other than they were coming home. So like I
Yeah.
saving up my PTO, but it was going to work, coming home to check on the wife and the pets, straight over to the hospital, coming back just in time to go to bed and then do it all over again the next day. And so
Yeah.
that part when he was talking about that, it hit because it's like, holy shit, I lived that. So to be able to,
Yeah.
you know, be able to tell him that and how much that part in a personal moment for him spoke to me because I, in my own way, lived that
Yeah.
would be something I'm like, man, if I ever got that chance, I'm not passing up on that.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry for your loss. I totally understand it because I relate to that as well with my mom passing a couple years ago. She died pretty young. She was 52 when she
Mm,
passed away. It wasn't a long, drawn out deal. She had a cardiac arrest and
Mm.
I found her about half an hour later and that whole deal. But there were those 3, 4 days where they were trying to keep her alive, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do an autopsy?" Da da da. And it was just, and she wasn't married, so I had to like make all them decisions myself,
Yeah,
and it was
that could be.
just, yeah, it was a dark time,
Yeah,
but I totally relate to what you're saying about memorizing and what he went through, and it's like part of me has got like this like morbid like I'll never have to see my mom deteriorate over time because she was young and healthy when she died, right?
yeah.
But then it's also like I'll never get to see my mom get old. She'll never have grandkids, and it's like it hurts. And then all this stuff I did with wrestling, like part of me is like, man, I wish she was here to like she would 100% be at the shows. She would be
Oh
my
yeah.
biggest fan. And it just you know, I wish she was a part of it, and but I know she is in some way.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I was never super spiritual, but like when she passed, it was like a coping mechanism. I was like, yeah, she's still here, she's
Ye-
watching, and that kind of
Oh
deal.
yeah. No, I'm definitely the same way with my girls, and now that my wife and I this last Christmas Eve gave birth to a little boy that's now 8 months old and damn near
Well,
25 pounds already, and
the
just
unit.
just a happy, for the most part, a happy little dude. So getting to think of it like he has two kick-ass big sister guardian angels, I try to look at it like that.
100%. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Congratulations, man. I know that was probably a stressful pregnancy because you're always scared of something like that happening
Oh
again,
yeah,
you
no,
know?
literally until I was literally holding him, I'm like every appointment that I wasn't able to go to, I'm like waiting by
Yeah,
the like at work on my computer and just waiting for like an email or something being like, okay, everything was good. But until then, I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Well,
Well,
again, congratulations, man. You got a healthy boy.
thank you.
It's
Yep,
awesome, man.
it's the light of my life, as they say. But going into another bright subject here, you know what? Go with this next guy, a guy that I've actually been able to meet one time, and he might be on his last legs. I mean, he's admitted that he's more towards the end of his career,
Yeah,
but he's still the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
man. I got a lot of respect for that guy. And here's one of the main reasons. Um, Slim J, who's a local legend here, he was in NWA Anarchy and um, super great guy. Probably one of the best guys I've ever met. Super nice, so giving, and he actually trained with AJ back in the day, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he was telling me these stories about how they would have these drills where they had this big hill next to the school and they'd run all the way down the hill, they'd go across the highway, they come all the way back, and they would just do that continuously. And he remembers AJ just lapping them just over and over and over and over and over again. He's like, come on guys, what are y'all doing? Um, but it was so funny like hearing somebody who like actually got to train and work with him and watch him
Yeah.
grow and become this wrestling legend that he is today. But he was always described as just an animal, just something different. Like he just stuck out from the rest of the trainees. He was always just so athletic and his conditioning was off the charts. Um, I mean, and it's just he just seems like such a cool, genuine dude. He's a gamer. Love that about him. I'm a gamer. So I connect with him on that. And he just seems like such a genuine dude,
Oh
just
yeah.
interviews with him and he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Oh yeah. Nope.
You
I
know.
might not be as big of a gamer as he is, because I mean, hell, it took me a good handful of months to even use my Xbox gift card that my wife ended up getting me as part of my Father's Day gift, and finally got that Assassin's Creed Shadows. And
Mm. No.
so I've been getting into that, but AJ Styles, I remember the time I got to meet him. It was in between when he left TNA and went to New Japan. He was doing a indie run in there.
Yeah.
Came up here to Omaha, and I actually got him to sign one of the TNA Lockdown DVD covers. And I vividly remember him saying, "God, I hated those matches." Talking about the lethal lockdowns with the top
Yeah.
on the cage and stuff. It's like, God, I
Yeah.
hated those.
That's funny.
Got a good little laugh out of that.
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't been able to meet him in person yet, but I mean, I hope, once he's kind of done with his run, maybe he'll come back to Georgia. Maybe he might pop up to a random indie and do a signing or
Maybe
something. You never know.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Now, next guy here, you can definitely tell where he's from because I mean he always lets it known. A Town Down, Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. I hear a lot of stories about him from when he did indies here in Georgia, just how crazy his characters were and how like not cool it would be nowadays to do what he was doing. Um, but hell, I mean, he trained at the Four here in Atlanta, and I've refereed there, and AR Fox was there. That was cool, but being in that environment and
Yeah,
would love to meet the guy. I mean, he's so proud of where he's from. And just being in the areas where he has been in, it's really cool. And being around people who worked with him when he was on that ground level and working his way up. I mean, I wish WWE would use him, better than how he has been.
he's been off for a little bit. Yeah.
Because he's got one of the most unique move sets I've ever seen. I mean, that like rolling thunder into a drop kick, and then I mean, and he gets up there. He's got one of the best missile
Oh,
drop kicks in the business, you know? But yeah, definitely just hearing the stories about him and and just seeing kind of where he is now and how successful he is. And I hope down the road he can be little Cena 2.0 or whatever, because that seemed like kind of where they were going at one point.
it did seem like that's where they were going for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe just Triple H doesn't see that vision with him. I'm not sure, but
Who the hell knows? There's so many things going on over there right now that I just, no offense to anybody over there, but there's some of the moves right now with people that they're just letting leave and not even that I don't understand. Like Karrion Cross recently, I'm like, how the hell are you
yeah.
not pushing the hell out of this guy?
Yeah, I don't know who he pissed off, but it's I don't know if it's just because he was doing his own thing and they didn't like that, or
Who the hell knows?
I feel like I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I feel like because there's been some things of saying like Triple H isn't really the one pulling the strings anymore. Like he is, but he's like
I
he
get that
like
feeling.
if TKO wants a certain thing, they're gonna get it, right?
I get that feeling.
And
Yeah.
maybe they didn't like that Karrion Cross was doing his own documentary. Maybe they didn't like that he had his own book that wasn't affiliated with the WWE or TKO. Maybe they didn't like it that the crowd was getting with somebody that they didn't really want them to get with. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's kind of how it felt, especially with that documentary he posted. And he was like, he had no idea that he was like one of the top selling merch people. I'm like, how
How the
did
hell
he
do
not
you not?
know that? Like I feel like back in the day, hey man, you're number one, dude. You're killing it, dude. You sold X amount of shirts. Congratulations. He had no idea. It's like what?
Yeah,
It's so crazy. It's so crazy to me, you
that
know?
definitely is. Now, last but not least on this list, I guess I don't know why. I guess I was surprised hearing where he was from, but hey, I mean, got ties to, WCW through his father and other relatives.
Hmm.
But a guy that I have to say has one of the most monstrous looking spears in pro wrestling today,
Yeah.
Braun Breaker.
Ron Breaker. Yeah, man. He's super cool, man. I mean, especially I love what they're doing now with the whole like he's basically Rollins Pitbull, you know?
Yeah,
It's super cool. And he's going to be a megastar.
right.
He's going to be, man. I mean, he's gonna be our generation's Goldberg, you know? But like he can also have a proper match. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe more of like a modern day. I don't know what to compare him to
Yeah, I wouldn't really know what to compare him to.
because he's like a mix of just
He's like
everything.
Goldberg improved.
Yeah, yeah, he's like if Goldberg and the Steiners had a baby, you know, like he's
Yeah,
you know, because like the
yeah.
Steiners were known to be like a great tag team, you know, and Goldberg had a killer spear and he was an attraction. And feel like because I feel like Goldberg was very uh carny, like he was very like carnival like wired, you know, like
Yeah.
I feel like back in the carnival wrestling days they're like, man, we got this guy 180 wins, who's gonna beat him? He's gonna be fighting a bear tonight. He's gonna spear the bear, who
Something. Yeah,
knows?
I can. You know what? I'd not heard about it like that yet, but yeah, I can
It-
see that.
yeah, for sure, like he was the attraction of the 90s, you know.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, Braun Breaker. Like I'm. Yeah, they're the heels, but I mean, it is kind of entertaining seeing the stuff that him and Seth Rollins and Heyman and an actual past guest of my show, Bronson Reed,
Mm.
seeing the stuff that they're all doing. Yeah, no, like Bronson Reed was flip flopping between at the time Impact and New Japan, also doing indie runs, and he was at a show for Warrior Wrestling in St. Louis, and I had had the promoter on a couple times at that point. He was like, "Oh, you should come down." I'm like, "Because St. Louis is, I mean, across Missouri from me," but I was like, be a part of the fan fest that they have before their shows." He's like, "Oh yeah." So I was like, "Oh." And this was like early on in the life of the podcast. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm my table is actually across the aisle from Mike Bennett, and then like
Wow.
down the way was Lance Archer, and then like right close to him was freaking Bronson Reed, Jonah at the time, and then like right across from him was Jeff Cobb, and then not too far from him was Athena, and it's like holy shit, like, and then I walking up to him, I was like, would you want to, like, thinking in my head, there's no way in hell this guy's gonna want to do my little show. But then he gave me a block of time from right when the fan fest ended to right when he had to go get his gear on. It's like, okay, you
Mm.
got this. I'm like, okay.
Let's
Thinking,
go.
thinking in my head,
Yeah.
oh fuck, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh my god, if you would have told little old me and like the shy little old me before I left for the Navy that someday I'd be talking with a guy that has wrestled the likes of Okada over in Japan and been in some of the biggest stadiums out there, I would have thought you were full of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely. It's cool though. Very
no,
cool.
yeah, I I regret that I didn't get one of his figures to get signed before I went because all they had was the WWE ones, and I'm like, oh, is he really? But it's like, hey, he's already. Somebody told me, hey, he's already made the money from it, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, wish I would have thought about that beforehand. But I did. But I did get Lance Archer there.
Nice.
I got his up there, and I actually got a Jeff Cobb one too.
Very cool.
And
Hell yeah.
funny enough, and I mean Jeff Cobb, jacked up beef of a dude. I'm taller than him. Like
Yeah.
I would like when I met him. No offense to him, because I'm still a huge fan of his. I was thinking that he was going to be taller than he ended up being. Like, kind of,
Yeah.
he was like maybe up to a little bit above my shoulder. I was just like,
Mm.
okay.
What's up? What's up, Jeff? What up, bro? Well, I mean, he
uh,
just gives off that vibe of a big man, and he kind of reminds me a lot of like Rhino, sort of.
oh, yeah.
He's got some Rhino vibes, you know?
Definitely does. Definitely does. All right. Now I got some random questions here. Some wrestling related, some not,
Okay.
some
All
nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far. So I give you the question, first answer that pops into your head.
right.
First one, craziest in match moment for you that you were there to call being a ref.
Craziest moment. Okay, I got one. There's a huge amphitheater here in Georgia called the Lakewood Amphitheater. Okay. This was a few weeks ago or a month ago, a few weeks ago. And I don't know if you ever heard of the Suicide Boys.
Mm,
They're Yeah. So last minute, just crazy Deep South wrestling here in Georgia. They were working with Live Nation. Okay. And they're like, hey, you guys can set up a ring right outside of the amphitheater. So it's like the amphitheater's here. There's steps that go to like bars and convenience stores. We were right there at the steps. So as soon as the concert was over, they're coming down and there's a wrestling ring, and we're running matches. It was packed, and apparently the Lakewood Amphitheater full contains about 18 to 20,000 people, depending on.
okay.
It's a big deal. All right. And so I was in the ring first, and I was just sitting there. I was waiting. And as soon as I started seeing people coming in, that was kind of the cue for the wrestlers to come out.
Yeah.
They gave it a second for people to kind of come around and build a crowd. And I mean, it was probably 10, 15 people deep, just
Yeah.
standing around our barricades that we had up. Um, Wrestlers come out. It was a sea of people, man. I couldn't see the ground. It was insane how many people were there.
Yeah.
And so the wrestlers come out. It was a tag team match, and I wish I had the wrestlers' names. When I think I have it's CT Entertainment, Duncan Evasia, Matthew Mims, and I'm blanking out on the one guy, and he's probably gonna be really mad at me that I forgot about him. I'm sorry, but anyway, so the match is going on, and all of a sudden, one of the guys in the crowd throws his drink at Duncan Evasia. Um, Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Um, but Duncan was playing his character. He was a heel. He turned around. He's like, "Did you just throw your fucking drink at me?" Um, Security comes, like the Live Nation, like the people who work at the place. They come, they grab him. He is fighting back. He's punching. He's kicking, and it's like right outside. And then all of the attention goes from in the ring to what's happening over there. Police are getting involved. He's on the ground getting tackled. And it was so funny because like the match was still going on, and there was a submission. Oh, DJ Smoke is the other guy. The DJ Smoke was in a submission from one of the other guys, and he was like, and he kept like trying to look and see what was
Like
going on.
over, like,
Yeah, I had the best view, right? And then Matthew Mims, he was in the middle of doing something. He's like, there's a real fight happening out there. I was like, yeah, get back to doing what you're doing, like. And that's probably the craziest moment because it was like one of them vibes where like holy shit, like what is happening? Like, because we
yeah.
were scared it was going to become a bigger
Yeah.
thing. Um, and what's crazy is I met that guy about an hour earlier. I was first going to the ring, testing the ropes, seeing how the boards were, if everything was good to go. and he was already like
Little.
he was twisted. Like he was drunk and high. His eyes were just glossy and red and good. I could tell he's a good guy because me and him were talking in Spanish and we were going back and forth about like he's hey bro, let me get in there. I can get in there. I'm like, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
one of yeah,
You,
you could just
you
tell. Yeah.
stay, you stay over there. All right. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, no, how much do I need to pay you to get in? I'm like, there's nothing you can pay me. Just stay out of the ring. And his brother was there. His little brother was there, babysitting him basically. He's like, yeah, I'm the designated driver, man. Just trying to keep him out of trouble. And so we had that interaction an hour before what
Yeah.
happened. And it was just, it was, I felt bad because like I connected with him earlier in the night, and now I'm seeing him with a police officer's like elbow deep in his face, and it's just like, man, like that's probably the craziest one so far.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that
And
would
I'm only a
definitely
couple
fit.
months in. I can't wait to see what else I'm gonna run into.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I know I've been lucky enough to witness a few shared crazy moments myself, including a more recent one. Uh, you might remember the infamous John Moxley Adam Copeland street fight on Dynamite,
Yeah.
the nail
Uh-huh.
board spot.
Hmm.
That was here in Omaha, and
What?
I was third row right by the entrance. That literally happened right in front of me.
Wow. Probably got some blood on you.
I kid you not. My clip that I recorded, where you can literally see like this them trying to pull it out of him, and the skin was like trying to hold on to the nails. Like my clip of
Yeah.
that got to like 12,000 views in under 24 hours.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I was at the show at Bad Blood when it was here in Atlanta, and it was like the first time WWE like did something where it wasn't a produce when the Kevin Owens attacked Cody in the back and
Oh
they had
yeah.
like that Lamborghini out there or whatever. And I
Yeah.
remember we were walking there and we could see Cody's bus. It's obvious the Wheatley vodka, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, we're gonna go there after the show. We're gonna try and sing Cody. It's gonna be cool. And we were all recording it. He was out there thanking the fans, hey, thank you for coming, da da da. But there was also that Lamborghini there, and we're like, what the hell is a Lamborghini doing there? That isn't all right, whatever. Maybe Cody is pimping tonight. I don't know, you know. And then that happened where Kevin's came out and out. We were recording it, and
Yeah.
that was a crazy moment because that was like the first time where WWE didn't have like they were betting on the fans to be there, you know,
Yeah.
and it was super cool to be a part of that.
Man. Yeah. No, I remember when that all happened. I I've actually kind of ran into Kevin Owens one time at funny enough Disney World. I was there getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden, like I don't know, I had to bend down to pick up something, tie my shoe. I don't remember what, but on my way back up, literally from me to this,
Hmm.
from me, I'm looking up, and all of a sudden I see that T Rex skull tattoo on his arm, and then I look up further, and I'm like, oh shit.
Wow.
But he was with his family, so I'm like, we're in the middle of the park. I know if I try to get his attention now, that it's just gonna. But in my head, I'm like, God damn it! If this were in the parking lot, I would so get his attention right now. But I don't want to mess with his family time. But I know I saw him, and I will admit to running up to my wife like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That whole fanboying out a little bit. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Have
I
you
totally.
ever have you ever ran into a wrestler out in the wild?
You know what? Not really. That would have been the first.
Yeah, I ran into I used to work for a beer company down here, and I was working to order merchandising at this independent like Asian grocery store. Or I guess it's more of an international grocery store, but it was
Yeah.
Korean owned. And I was just sitting there building my Heineken display. Uh, and I turn around and I see this huge, tall, tatted up buff dude. I was like, he looks super familiar. Who is that guy? Turns out it was Doc Gallows. Just
Wow.
walk, yeah, he walking with his family. I think his dad and his brothers were there.
Yeah.
And he lived in Japan for a long time. So, and he lives near there. I didn't know that. And he was just shopping around right in front of me. And I was like, dude, Doc Gallows, what's like he was in New Japan at that time. So he was there's Bullet Club, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. This was 2019,
Okay.
2020, around there, 2019, 2020. And I got a picture of him doing the Too Sweet, and me and him took the selfie together. But it was
Nice.
super cool, like seeing him not in a wrestling scene. It was just at a grocery store. I was working, had my headphones in, I was just vibing, doing my thing. Turn around. I mean, he was hard to miss, you know.
He's kind of a hard guy to miss in situations like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The super cool guy, man. Super nice. He was very
I've heard that
cordial.
about him. I've definitely heard
Hmm.
that about him.
Yep.
Now, we talked a little bit about needing to prepare for, even the referees preparing for taking bumps.
Hmm.
This might not necessarily be for you yourself, but what is like one of the craziest ref bumps you've ever personally seen?
Craziest ref bump I've ever seen. Like personally or just in general?
Well, personally, that you didn't have to be there in person to witness it,
Yeah.
but you saw the footage of it somewhere.
Ooh. Oh man, I'm trying to think of one. Off the dome here. Uh I can't think of any super crazy ones. Beside the one of the guy who got injured from the Hell in the Cell, that bump was pretty gnarly. Um I man, I remember seeing one where he took a lariat from a wrestler. That was I can't remember who or where it was. I just saw it on Instagram, but he was standing behind a wrestler, and I'm assuming they called the spot. And the guy is going, he's doing like a JBL clothesline
Yeah,
from hell. Ref Wrestler moves out the way. Bam! I mean, he does a full on flip. His legs hit the rope. He's everywhere, and it looked like it hurt. It did not look like a fun bum at all.
I have one that I actually was there to witness it because
Okay.
that that same arena where the Moxley Copeland street fight happened,
Yeah.
NXT ended up doing a house show there. And this one actually got all over social media because the ref took a crazy bump and then his ankle just snapped and it was like hanging on
Oh.
like that. And
Oh.
he still counted the 1, 2, 3 to end the match. And they cart. I was again right by the entrance, and they carted him off right by me, and you can see the ankle just kind of hanging on
Oh.
by a thread.
Oh. Reminds me of that Sid
Oh,
injury where he
shit, did we? Oh, looks like we froze there. Oh yeah, the Sid injury where coming off the rope and just snapped it. Yeah,
just
it
whoop.
was it
Reminds me
was
of
of
that.
that caliber.
Ugh.
It was definitely of
Mm.
that caliber.
Ugh.
Yeah, it
No
ended
thank
up
you.
getting all over social media, and I'm like, holy shit! A house show moment got all over social media that was here that I was actually there for. It was
That's crazy.
nuts.
That's crazy.
Now, I I do enjoy being a little bit of a movie buff. I definitely have some of my absolute favorites. What
All
is a
right.
favorite movie of yours?
Oh man, I got a lot. Um, I'd say The Lost Boys is up there. Love,
Yeah.
love, love The Lost Boys. I'm a horror guy. I like my Nightmare on Elm Streets. I know not a lot of people like it, but I enjoyed Freddy versus Jason. You know, I know I know. Hey, calm down. I liked Freddy versus Jason though. Just it was just a movie. Probably shouldn't have watched it as a kid, but I did, and I loved it. Man, yeah, Lost Boys, Nightmare on Elm Street. When it comes to like just classics like Truman Show's up there, Ace Ventura movies. Like I love like those kind of silly movies. Um,
With that scene with the sliding door where he's like, "Ah,
ah,
ah,"
ah. Yeah, yeah. And then the Slinky one, Slinky, Slinky,
when he's going down the
the
monastery steps up
giant,
in
yes. Yeah. And then when it didn't get all the way to the bottom, he's like, I'm going back up. It's like, no.
the yeah.
Um, I just recently watched The Sinners. I know I'm pretty late to
I
that.
haven't seen that yet myself.
It's so good. It's so good. I will say it's a little hard getting through that first hour. Like it's
Yeah,
great dialogue, great story. But like for some people who aren't like they just want bam bam, shooty shooty bang bangs,
yeah,
what I like to say. Um, it's they build up the characters really well, and
okay,
it's such a cool blend of like culture vulture type stuff.
yeah.
Um, and it's got just a blend of just culture and gotta love vampires. It's such a cool movie, and as soon as I got done watching the movie, I was on TikTok and Instagram looking up like meanings and all the because there's so many small little stuff in there that you might miss the first time you watch it. And I mean, it's just it's I mean, and the fact that it takes place in like deep South
Yeah.
during like Jim Crow and the main vampire, I don't want to spoil a bunch of stuff, but he's Irish. He's from Ireland. And there's kind of a thing where like in the South, it's very Christian. There's a lot of
Yeah.
churches everywhere, and with the history of Ireland being taken over by the Christians, there's like a whole thing between that where like there's like I'm not gonna spoil it. You need to watch it, but there's some cool parts, and you need to remember like that kind of thing. And
I,
it's
I
probably
that
one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. It's so good, so good.
before I go into a couple of my favorites, you mentioned being a horror guy. Now, I haven't always been a horror guy, but I've slowly gotten to be able to be into more of like the slasher subgenre of the horror.
hmm
That's all I can really get into. Like I cannot get into the whole demonic possession stuff because I'm like,
Like the Conjuring movies and that kind
oh,
of thing.
that sort of stuff. Because in my head, I'm like, there is a reason that a lot of those movies are have that label based on a true story because that shit can actually happen.
Yeah, I live in the state where the Amityville Horror House exists, and Georgia's known to be one of the most haunted states in the world. And yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, the slasher films are always fun, for sure.
yeah, the slasher stuff is about what I can do, but outside of that, I mentioned Ninja Turtles earlier.
Yep.
The the second one, Secret of the Ooze, one of my all time favorites. Love that
Okay.
fucking movie.
Very
But
valid.
then
I like that.
I've lost count at how many times I've seen the movie Forrest Gump. I've literally I've been to like probably about 4 or 5 of the different Bubba Gump restaurants in different locations. I
Oh yeah.
most recently went to one in the Mall of America, and I collect souvenir shot glasses. And well, my wife actually found a Dr. Pepper souvenir shot glass from there, and I'm
That's
like, oh
cool.
my
Look
god, I have to have
at
that
that.
because I'm a bit of a Dr. Pepper fiend. So combining Forrest Gump with this, I'm like, I had to freaking have that. But
100%.
yeah, I I can literally answer their trivia questions about the movie before they're done asking them. I've
Oh
seen it
yeah.
that much.
I'm that way with Monsters Incorporated.
Oh,
I gr-
dude,
yeah.
some of that Disney stuff. Oh, I'm even getting my son into some of it now. Like, not really a movie, but I found out my son apparently has gotten a liking to DuckTales. Like,
Okay.
you should see the way his face lights up when that life is like a hurricane. When that starts going, he's just starts his face just lights up and he
Yeah.
starts like waving his arms like I'm like, dude, I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah,
All right.
I'd say Toy Story is another one on that list.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's a
yeah.
that's a classic for sure.
Oh yeah.
I oh god, Monsters Inc. I've watched both Monsters Inc. and Monsters University with my son. I've watched Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. I've watched this. Oh, I've lost count.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, now I feel myself going on a tangent. So you know what? I'm gonna go on to the next question.
All right.
And with the name of a show like I have, I feel like I have to ask this one. Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise?
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Had it there with you?
Let's see. I don't actually. I I all I got is a zero sugar A&W cream soda. Um,
Eh,
just because
that's still good.
I'm on a nutrition diet thing right now. But um, as somebody, I have been involved in the beer and wine liquor industry for a long time from my like shoot job. So I've had a chance to try a lot of different things. I would say it's gonna be random, but the Pabst coffee was probably
Really
yes, loved it. Tasted like a Yoo-hoo from the South. A Yoo-hoo is like the goat.
interesting.
It was so good. They had a Pabst. They had two different ones. They had well, they probably had more, but the ones I remember was they had like a Pabst cold brew, and then they had a regular Pabst coffee. And the company I worked for was the one distributing it at that time. So I got to try
Mm,
samples of it, and we had like a goal to get like 10 points of distribution or whatever. It was one of my favorites just because it tasted I love like chocolate and it tasted like a Yoo-hoo and it was so good. Um I know that's super random. Um
that's one I haven't heard of yet. Well, I've heard of it, but I haven't
yeah.
had anybody give me that answer yet.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Definitely a new one.
I also don't drink a ton. I remember the first liquor I had was Crown Royal Vanilla. Um,
Mm.
we just got done delivering like 20 pallets to a liquor store, and it was my 21st birthday. He was like, "Hey, bro, it's your birthday?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, I'm gonna get you something," and he got me a little shot of Crown Royal Vanilla, and I was like, "This is great." I liked it, so I guess that's another one. Shit, what else? I love a good margarita. I'm a margarita guy.
Oh yeah, I'm with you
Good
there.
margarita. Uh,
Yeah.
non-alcohol. Oh man. I mean, I mentioned Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo's up there. Um, there's a local brand here in Georgia, and I'm trying to remember the. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this one up because I do not want to. It's a pecan cream soda,
Interesting.
crumb cake. New Creations. They're a craft soda company here,
Okay.
and you can find them at Publix. It's rare, but you can find it. But yeah, they have a butter pecan cream soda, and it's
Hmm,
so good. It's so good.
that sounds tasty.
It's so good. It's one of the best drinks I've ever had in my life. Can't go wrong with a float. I love me a good float. Cheer wine is big down here.
I
Like that.
yeah. Most of my first year in the Navy was spent down in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and that
Yeah.
area. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys have Cookout up there.
Um,
It's a restaurant chain that's
you
down
know
fast
what? I
food.
swear that I've seen like this was like a while back. I don't think it's there anymore, but I swear I have seen
Yeah. So they have cheer wine floats on their
them.
menu,
Mhm.
and it's so good. It's so good. But
Oh
yeah.
man.
What about
Yeah.
you? What are your drinks of
Oh
choice?
god. Bit of a like I said, a Dr. Pepper fiend. Um, I do enjoy a good margarita. I do when making my own. I have two tequilas that I like to use. One of them actually being the Rocks one, Terramana,
Okay. All right. It's about
because
dried.
that and the one that the one George Clooney at least used to own, Casamigos. They're so damn smooth. You put that stuff in a margarita, you better be freaking careful because after like two, maybe three of them, you're gonna be feeling it.
Oh yeah, because it goes down so smooth, you know. You're like, man,
Oh yeah.
I could do three, four of these. I'm good. But
Oh,
no,
oh yeah. And
no.
then before you know it, you're like, "Ooh, everybody, you're so pretty."
Wow.
Although I will say, when it comes to alcohol, I'm more of a beer guy, but and I'm upset that the closest that this stuff gets sold to me is like 2.5 hours away.
Hmm.
But me being a Stone Cold fan that I am, Broken Skull American Lager.
Yeah, that broken skull IPA there. Oh, that's a lager.
What?
What?
Here's bars like a big bar. What? God
Nice.
damn.
Yeah, we don't have those over here, sadly.
Yeah,
I know
like
it's mostly on the
literally
west and in the
nowhere.
Midwest.
Yeah, nowhere in Nebraska, but down in Kansas City, I know there's a spot where I found that one. My dad actually took me, being a big Packers guy that I am. He took me to my first game up in Green Bay at Lambeau Field, and
Hmm.
I found a grocery store that had those not too far away from where we were staying. So I'm like, "Hey, Dad, can we go over there? I need to find that." I lit, and they only come in 4 packs. I got the last one,
Oh wow. Nice.
and
That's
I
what I'm talking
haven't
about.
I haven't been able to find them anywhere since, and I'm
Yeah, I don't know if they
disappointed.
do like online sales or I don't know. Gotta be able to find it somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean there is ordering through whatever website, but then it's like, oh, shipping and all that shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I,
the best way I can tell you, and especially from somebody who's from that business, is figuring out who distributes it, calling up the distribution company and saying, "Hey, I would like to know where you guys sell this," and they can pull up all the data and where it's been delivered. And you can say, "Oh, it's been delivered at BP and da da da." Cool. You know, that might
I'm,
be your best
I might
bet.
I might need to do that. All
You
right, now last but not least here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into the wrestling business, whether it be referee, wrestler, whatever.
best advice I can give. I would say I'm bad at giving advice, but I would
I
say
can be.
I would say go for it. I mean, if it's something you're really thinking about doing, if you want to have a new respect for this, because I tell you all the time when I'm at shows, there's always going to be people who are going to want to be like, "Oh, it's like a trampoline. Oh, it's like a bed. Oh, you know." I'm
Yeah,
like, come here and smack it real quick. Get a few, smack as hard as you can. And it's every
yeah,
time they're like, "Oh, that hurts." Like it's so funny seeing people
yeah,
react to how hard the ring is. It's like, yeah, there's like this much cushion, and then the rest is solid wood and metal. Like, good luck. Um,
yeah,
but the best advice I would say is, man, like I said, go for it. Be confident, not too confident. Uh,
yeah.
respect the vets and talk to everyone. Everyone. When you go, if you're just started training, talk to all the trainees, talk to the trainers. Once you get to a point to where you can do a show, help out with ring crew, whatever, um, talk to everyone. Everyone. Have a conversation because the first impression is the most important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every show I go to, I talk to all the wrestlers that are putting the ring together. I talk to the ones who aren't. I talk to the referees. I talk to the camera guys. I talk to the promoter. I talk to the guy who drove the truck to bring the ring. Doesn't matter, right? Just because you never know what opportunity you could have at some point. They're like, oh man, Jesse's a great guy. He he helped put together the ring. He he talked to me and we had a great conversation, you know. And I'm also a very talkative person. I can have a conversation with just about anybody. And I love learning from anybody. I love talking to anybody. I love learning backgrounds. Um, so I would just say shake everybody's hand, talk to everybody. Um, be as professional as you can be, even though this is the world of professional wrestling and we're all a little crazy. Um, show up like I don't even know, like because every show I go to, I always want to be presentable. Not like dressing in like a polo and khakis, but be presentable when it comes to being just a person. And
Yeah.
hey, I'm here to help. My name is so and so. I trained at PCW. I'm here to help. Um, and just be that person. Um, because it'll take you a long way. Having that respect from your peers who see that you're willing to help. And just don't be a dick. You know, don't
In the
be a
long
dick.
run, yeah. To summarize it, just don't be a dick about it.
Don't be a dick. Go for it. Don't be a dick and respect the vets and take advice from everyone. You know,
Mhm.
because some people might tell you one thing and you talk to somebody else and they're like, that's bullshit. This is how I do things. And just figure out your own way. You
Yeah.
know, like because I've been told so many different things from so many different people and so many different styles and how they do certain
Yeah.
things. And I
Yeah.
just take a little bit of everything and I make it my own,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? And don't don't take someone as if they're the Bible and just stick to that one
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Y- You know, I feel like that happens a lot, especially in indie wrestling. It's they only learn like hopefully down the road, I would like to train at other schools just to see how they do things.
Yeah.
Um, learn from different people. Obviously, grandpa will always be my guy, right?
Yeah.
That's my go-to guy. I go to ask for advice. I ask for anything he needs. He's always there to give me the advice.
Yeah.
Um, but I also like to talk to other refs and figure out, hey, like, what do you put in your referee bag?
Yeah.
Um, or I'll send them a clip from online. Hey, like, what would you do in this situation? Or, and I always ask three or four or five different people because I'd like to see different answers, you know? And
Yeah.
like when I referee, like for some reason, I like to wear sweatbands on my
Mm.
wrist. Um, Not a lot of referees do that, but like I sweat a lot, so I just thought, oh, like maybe I could just, you know, some refs
Yeah.
they carry handkerchiefs in their back pockets. Some of them just use their arm. Some of them just when they're trying to sneak you with the shirt. Some of them don't do anything at all. They just suck it up and just get sweat in their eyes. I don't know. Um, and it's just I'd like to get um, different opinions from different people because everybody's going to give you different answers.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Nothing wrong.
I know that was a lot of advice, but
No. Perfect. Because yeah, no, getting a little bit of something from everybody, taking away something from every conversation. Definitely good advice there. Now, before we go, where can people find you social media wise if they want to keep their eye on you and where you're at and shows you're going to be at? So, you bring a new fan to wherever show you're going to be at, they can go ahead and do that.
100%. So on Instagram, I'm jesse.the.referee. Um, that's my main. I'm always posting all my stories of the shows I'm going to be at. Facebook, it's Jesse Morales currently, but I'm getting ready to really change it up to make it to where it's strictly for business when it comes
Yeah.
to like I'm putting together a resume to put out there, like a little flyer showing all the promotions I've worked for, where I trained at, who I trained with, and
Yeah.
just ready to go, right? But yeah, that so just keep an eye out for Jesse B, professional referee. Uh, I'm trying to figure out what my X handle is. I don't remember, but you
Yeah,
can look
that
up.
one, that and TikTok are probably my two social medias that are neglected the most.
Yeah, like I have a TikTok, but it's really just for personal use. I don't really plan on. I might make one just to post referee stuff, or I've even thought about recording skits as a referee. going to the back. Like, there's a guy who's really cool right now. His name is Ben Bishop. He just had a, WWE tryout at SummerSlam.
Mm.
Um, I got to interview him last year on my podcast, and one of the coolest guys ever. But he does these really funny skits about professional wrestling on the inside. He's got a Shindy promoter is like a character, one of the characters he plays, and he's got greasy hair and he's got this like jacket that's too big on him, and he's always joking about, oh yeah, I'll get you the pay next week, or I'll get you the pay next. Oh yeah, uh-huh, yep. Or I'm gonna make myself the champion for my promotion because that's really gonna sell tickets. Like that kind of stuff. He makes
Yeah.
fun of that. It's so good. It's so good. Um, and he's even been making memes about how he's got a WB tryout and he's like pretending like he's like hot shit now, like it's part of his gimmick. Like he's very satirical.
Was
Like
he
there's a
the one that I saw that posted something about it was just a picture of himself sitting in a big room? It was like
yeah, yeah, that's
something
him.
about a picture of everybody that had a WWE tryout and it's like just him.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yep. That's his whole shtick, man. It's so good.
I love it.
He's also 7 feet tall, but he goes by 6'12" because it's great and it gets a good chant. 6'12", 6'12".
Yeah.
It's so good. He's one of the best. He's another guy who's just great. He's such a
Yeah.
good dude. I will text him randomly and say, "Hey man, like I just started training," or "Hey, I just got a referee my first show." And he's always like, "Dude, you're killing it, man. Like you're doing so great. Keep it up."
Awesome.
Such a good dude. But like I was having an idea of doing something similar, but like
Yeah.
as a referee, you know,
Yeah.
and doing like just stuff that referees will notice. We don't say nothing, but just stuff that we'll see, in the
Oh yeah.
back. And I don't know, maybe funny, maybe not. I don't know.
I can
But
I can see it. Yeah. No, that would be something. Maybe do
hmm
one of those that you see different I think I saw a female wrestlers one where it's like, we're a female wrestler. Of course we blah blah blah. Or of
hmm
course we blah blah blah. And you'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm a professional wrestling referee. Of course we blah blah blah. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I can
So
see that.
good. So
Well,
good.
that is about all I got. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. Been an absolute pleasure. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, man. It's really fun. I love doing this kind of stuff and I love talking about the business. It's
Oh, me too.
something I love and I can't wait to do it for as long as I can. So
Yeah. All right. It's that issue with the fucking button again. No.